Is sugar bad for Crohn's disease? In this video, we're going to go over some different types of sugars available to us. I'm going to show you which ones are best, which ones are the worst, and overall, should you be eating or consuming sugar if you have Crohn's disease? If you haven't already, go down in my description and watch my webinar. I will show you everything I did to recover from Crohn's colitis and IBS. So, sugar. Sugar gets a bad rap. A lot of people like to hate on sugar. The keto is super popular right now. Sugar's bad. Oh, fat's better. Blah, blah, like, what are we supposed to do? So, the one thing we need to realize that the holistic health community, even the modern medicine community, is completely oblivious to is somebody who has Crohn's disease is using a ton of energy. A ton. So, for example, let's say in a normal state, I don't have a disease. The average body is consuming about 2,000 calories a day. If somebody has Crohn's disease, where from the German New Medicine perspective, there's extra gut cells being made and extra gut cells being removed due to a conflict shock we haven't come to peace with in our life, that is like an extra 500, 3,000 it could be someone, instead of spending 2,000 calories a day just to function, that person is going to need 2,500 or 3,000 calories to function. Not to mention, they're having issues digesting their food, so they're going to need even more food to meet that deficit. So this is where sugar comes in. Sugar is not causing your digestive issues because it's caused by a conflict shock. Mine was having my parents take away my Nintendo when I was little. And then just being haunted by it all the way up into adulthood. What was the traumatic event that put your gut in and out of overdrive? Now, so what am I trying to say? Sugar is good for you. Sugar is good for you. It is very good for you. It is so the keto community, I don't know what they're smoking. There is a point to going keto if you want to be like really cut and like look really muscular and all that stuff. But there's two types of fuels. There's fat, which is a slow burn fuel, or that's at least what it's designed to do. It could probably be used for both, but it's designed to be a slow burn fuel. And then we have sugar, which is a fast burning fuel. It's the primary fuel of the body, glucose. Simple life forms can utilize glucose. Simple life forms cannot use fat. Fat is metabolically complicated. For fat that travels to your bloodstream, it's got to get wrapped in a lipoprotein. In order for you to digest fat, you have to have, it's so complicated. Sugar, it gets absorbed right in your stomach and it's ready to go. You drink this, you're going to have energy in you right now, ready to go. You feel tired, drink this, you're going to have energy ready to go. So what's the best sugar for us to consume? Now, the natural sugars are, we have maple syrup, but you're kind of weird, taking this to drink with you. It's kind of gross. Honey is great. Maple syrup is great. These are probably the two best. But Weston A. Price did a kind of a cool comparison where it's just so the basic building blocks of the body are one, nitrogen. None of these foods have any nitrogen protein in them. So that's the most important nutrient right there. Then the next is calcium and phosphorus. In order to get your daily amount of calcium or phosphorus, you got to drink a gallon of 2 or maybe even 3 of maple syrup. So don't look at this as from a nutritional perspective. Don't feel like you're missing out on nutrients. These are primarily energy sources. Don't be having this oh, I'm going to get so much more nutrients if it's maple syrup. There's not much more nutrients in this than processed sugar. This is evaporated cane sugar, and this has cane sugar or refined sugar in it. Now, what's the difference between cane sugar and evaporated cane sugar? Evaporated cane sugar is just processed less, so there's still more like trace nutrients in it, where processed sugar has less nutrients in it, but neither have much nutrients in it, to be completely honest. We have sugars from fruit, which are really good, but again, very, very low in nutrients, even though the juice will be more nutrient dense than the fruit. This has refined sugar in it as well. You know, but again, in an energy crunch where you're at the airport, you haven't eaten in a while, you need energy because you're running around, you're carrying like 100 pounds on your back, it is better to have this in you than nothing. The one sugar that I avoid at all costs just because it's disgusting is high fructose corn syrup. Like, I'd rather starve than drink something with high fructose corn syrup in it. It's just absolutely disgusting. I think it's just so trashy. And unfortunately, you know, America, because it's so cheap, we put high fructose corn syrup in, you know, all of our drinks. So I drink these a lot. Sometimes I have orange juice. But the point I'm trying to get across for Crohn's disease and sugar, it is good to drink sugar. It is an easy source of energy, and your body is begging. It's begging for energy. It needs it desperately, especially if you're underweight. This is very metabolically expensive. So make sure you get sugar in you. Don't be afraid of it. If you react to sugar, it is because it is linked to, it's a PTSD trigger. It's linked to the trauma. Maybe you celebrated your conflict resolution with your favorite drink. You know, maybe you listened to too many keto people, you know, while you were first starting to try diets and stuff like that. I was afraid of sugar for a long time because I was doing like the whole candida thing, and I thought it was feeding the candida. But literally just a day of changing that thought process and learning German new medicine and knowing that it was caused by a conflict, I was able to eat as much sugar as I want and not have any symptoms, except for maybe putting on a few pounds. But those were desperately needed few pounds. So enjoy your sugar, guys, and make sure you go watch my webinar down below if you haven't already. It will change your life. I'll show you everything I did to get better. Bye-bye.